Boom. What is up, Hoosier Nation? What's up, Jackson Johnson? Shout out to Jackson Johnson. We are live, Brad. New slot. Not a new slot, different slot.
No, it's the flex alert. This is a
Flex
straight up
slot.
flex alert. It's a flex alert.
First,
Pacers are tomorrow, so we wanted to flex it to today. So, what?
that's so funny. I had the stream up in the background by accident, and so I was hearing myself.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear
Very
anything on my
confused.
end, so you're good.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, we had the Pacers game tomorrow. Big day for the state of Indiana. Game 4, we're up 2-1 on the Knicks after a thrilling game 1, which probably I thought at a point deflated the Knicks to a point where there's no coming back, but here we are. They come back 20 points down to win game 3, and here we are, game 4, 2-1.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I'm really pulling for the Pacers here. I really am.
100%. This is definitely isn't an NBA pod. We're not going to talk much Pacers, but in terms of like yesterday had the chance to be an absolutely legendary Indiana sports day for the people who had the chance to go to both events, the Indy 500 and the playoff game. Obviously, Indy didn't win, but still, just what a day for the city, what a day for the state, and yeah, we want to show respect, show love to the Pacers fans. Like, obviously, neither of us are Pacers fans. As a Celtics fan, I know a thing or two about blowing 20-point leads to the Knicks. But yeah, we're pulling for the boys, and yeah, we want to let the Pacers fans be able to watch us and watch the Pacers tomorrow night. So, first ever Indiana Hoosiers live flex. So we're live on a Monday night. Happy Memorial Day! Shout out to we're remembering those who sacrificed, and we're just here to celebrate and live on a Monday.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's great. I'm happy. Yeah, happy to be here on the Memorial Day Extravaganza is what we're calling the episode. Really. I know you named it. Yes, you're too low on the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers, but I'm calling it the Memorial Day Extravaganza. That's what this episode is.
Well, yeah,
anything goes on the Memorial Day Extravaganza. It does.
Anything does go, but I did kind of want to theme this because there aren't any like gigantic or super major talking points. So I did want to kind of give it a theme, and like just people should be. I completely lost my train of thought. So let's start with Kamara.
Yeah.
Mikail Kamara.
That's usually me. That's supposed to be. That's my.
Yeah,
bit.
no.
You can't steal my bit like that. That's not.
No, but I was gonna say just people aren't putting enough respect on this version of the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers. We'll get into the kind of the On3 stuff that came out over the week for them, but just like still too many people are looking at last year like a fluke. So you look at somebody like Mikail Kamara and people are like, yeah, like what do you make of his season? PFF tweeted out like 3 hours ago. Last year he had an 86.4 PFF grade, 10 sacks, 18 QB hits, 66 pressures, and a 17% win rate. Our friend Jamie Jordan came over the top of that, said Mikail Kamara averaged 5.23 pressures per game, and his 68 total pressures ranked first in the FBS, 2 more than third overall pick Abdul Carter. Carter got his 66 in 16 games. That's 4.13 per. Kamara played just 13. So that just kind of shows you how good Kamara was last year. And if you think about Kamara getting more one-on-one opportunities this year,
in theory, we'll see. We do have that running theory that he's moving back to the big end, considering the Wyatt and the Daily bring acquisitions is what we're calling them, I guess. Transfers.
And
yeah, I mean, I'm expecting just in general, just production to go up year after year. You're in college; these are the biggest developmental phases of your career, and I'm expecting a leap from 10 to possibly. I've alluded to the Greg Middleton record at 16. I think that should be, if it isn't already, should be the goal for Mikail Kamara. I'm sure he has his eyes set on it. I don't think it's come up in any of his. It shouldn't. I don't really want it to. But yeah, that should be his goal, would be to get 16 and a half sacks on the year. At least.
Yeah, I agree. I tweeted that out today too, and I stole the point you gave me. So, but you're kind of like the information department, so I feel like it's fair game.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not gonna lie, reading that tweet, I was a little upset. I was like, that's my stat poll. The Greg Middleton pull and the.
You gotta be quicker than that, Brad.
Yeah, back in the day, Greg Middleton, Jamie Curlew, for those that know, those guys both played in the NFL, so they turned out to be pretty good there. Way back in the day, Indiana in the Hep days had a pretty decent NFL like pass rush duo. No one really talked about. Probably didn't have a whole lot of much else, but yeah, there's always been great players that rolled through.
One of us is gonna have to get stat corrected on if
what stat corrected on
Hep was the coach in 07.
07? Probably was.
I digress. We're getting Bison promos, Brad. More Bison promos. Last week we were like the Bison's back, and obviously that's what all the two reveals were. We got 2 more promos. The third one, Coach Sig is watching film and I'm almost 100% positive this is how it happened. They walked in with the crew basically to Sig watching film. We're like, "Can we film you for a promo video?" And he's like, "You get 1 take in 10 seconds." It's like they overlaid the ponds, roll out the big red carpet over the play that they kind of blurred out. But if you actually like take the second to like look at what's blurred out on the screen, like it's some team going into an end zone, not even the same direction of it's not the same play that they put the audio towards. Not obviously, clearly not the point of the video.
He was watching the Michigan State game very, very clearly. Very obvious that was the Michigan State game he had on tape. So, and and based on the angle, that definitely was tape. That was not like a broadcast.
No, 100%.
So he was 100% just in there. I don't know. I don't know if they came in. I don't know if that's when he first knew about the clip. I think they told him about it. It was like,
no, I'm sure they were like, we're showing up. Yeah.
You'll have 5 minutes to get this done. Like,
make this quick. I got to watch 2028 film.
Yeah. He did not do any face-to-face interaction with the media department until they got into that room.
Like, we think he's watching Kansas. He's watching like D2 in the middle of Kansas. That's what he's watching for offensive innovation. He's watching like the Bundesliga of college football.
I think it was just the Michigan State game, to be honest. I think he was just self-evaluating the team.
The 4th promo, Brad, because obviously the 3rd promo was just to get Sig involved, but the 4th promo was the first time we got clear visual of part of the Bison head. That was the screenshot I put up, the screenshot a bunch of different people put up, but it was Coach Darren DeVries just going unconscious from the floor, shooting like we haven't seen in our time as Hoosiers. They're fun. I love the promo videos. I think keep them coming. I like the fact that we got the first view of the Bison, but now I'm like, all right, give me more.
Yeah, no, I liked that. First off, I'm pretty sure that's the first media clip of Darren DeVries. First off.
No, he did some like Hoosiers
besides his announcement and like donate to the Hoosiers Connect.
Oh, probably. I mean, they've been recruiting.
His first like thing he's done with them because he's been out there on the trail, which is awesome. But yeah, seeing the Bison, at least in terms of, we only saw maybe 1/4 of the head. It didn't look as
I would
stupid.
say
I had the worry that it was going to look stupid, and you were like, there's no way they'll let it look stupid. And I was like, you never know. And then from the looks of it, it's promising from what I saw. The little sliver, the horn looked solid. Didn't look like too much, too little. They might have just nailed it with something.
Do you think they're gonna do like are we gonna get like Yeagley and Morin and like are they gonna do an air? Like, are we gonna get like every coach in a video that's like one part of the Bison sticking out, or do you think it's gonna be like at some point he's just gonna like jump out and be in the middle of the football stadium, and then there's gonna be a bunch of like
honestly, I like the videos. Like, don't get me wrong, but let's just announce it, get used to it. Like, I want to have visual of. I want more content of the, instead of sneak, like, what do you call it, alluding to the Bison, like, let's like get the Bison, let's like just have that,
During his reveal, do you think he'll be laying in a circle of home field apparel merch, or do you think that comes slightly after?
After. I think he'll be, I hope they nail it. Like, they'll probably do a Yeagley teaser they'll probably throw in a Yeagley, and then they'll have like a compilation of him just at all the different the pool. He'll be at the Bart. He'll be at Yeagley. He'll be at Memorial. He'll be at Assembly Hall. He'll be in all those different spots. He'll be on Kirkwood. He'll just be around. You know, he or she, I guess. Are we going to do the double, like, you know, Joe and Josephine Bruin? You know, you have Wilbur and Wilma Wildcat at Arizona. Are we
have Wally and Tessie.
Are we going to do the multi
the double mascot?
Bison? Is it going to be two?
The male and female Bison? I don't know if I would. I don't know. Short answer is I don't know. I feel like there are endless possibilities. Could there be like a this year 1 Bison, next year 2 Bison type thing, and then you just keep adding to the herd? Like, I don't.
I will say I think I'm all for just the one male Bison, because I think males are fully capable. Like, as a equalist, I believe men are just as capable of supporting women's sports as women. Because we're all equal.
You were talking about like specifically for the different sports. I went full.
Yeah, because like the whole idea of the women's mascot is to have like women's representation for women's tennis and women's soccer and all the women's sports. Was the whole idea around, you know, having 2 mascots, a man and a woman type mascot.
I don't know. I feel like we'll see. Deep in the woods. Let's see what they got going on here first before we get that far.
Yeah.
But Bison don't eat turf, Brad, obviously, but they wouldn't be eating the turf that's at Memorial Stadium right now because it doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if you saw it, but they completely ripped up the old turf. You can see actually in my background, that turf I'm standing on right there, no longer there. Respectable Adam on Twitter, one of my favorite follows, was the first time I saw something about it. He asked for an A. If I don't know if we have any type of power in that regard, but if we could somehow start or help push a campaign to get him an A, that'd be awesome. So just putting that out into the universe. I don't know
what is that.
Like, INDIANA in the end zone.
Oh, like the name Indiana.
Yeah. Cut out the A and give a piece of the A to Respectable Adam. Or get the whole A.
Just give it to him.
I'm behind it. That's all I'm saying.
If we can do anything to push that, we have no pull here, but yeah, we can try. But I think changing the field, I feel like they should be doing that every year, especially if they're
100%. Well, I have some speculation for you. Ready? First of all, I already have my answer to this one, but do you think there's any chance they would make it grass?
No,
I don't think so.
I'm a very pro grass person. As master of the eye test, I think every field should have grass to prevent injuries. I think it's the biggest cause of ACLs and any sort of and injuries in general. It's all turf related, and I think we should stick to the Rose Bowl does it right. But the thing is, we can't. Not all these stadiums are in Pasadena, California. It's really hard to maintain. Yeah, these turfs, and it costs a lot of money, while at the same time in certain areas being impossible. So I understand it. I think Indiana might be one of those areas, but if we can do grass, we can do grass. And I feel like the NFL should have grass. Is all I'm like. College, I think it's fine.
Yeah, MetLife. Or listen to this BS.
You know what I mean? Like you know how much money is different.
Well, dude, MetLife Stadium is switching full blown to grass for the World Cup. They're literally going to host the final in 2026. And then after the final, they're going right back to turf. How ridiculous is that? It's crazy.
That's pretty awesome, honestly.
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, that's just how they were able. I think that was the caveat for them to even get into the World Cup was that they had to go to the grass.
No, they did. You couldn't. All the fields for male FIFA tournaments have to be grass. They will not play on turf. The women they'll let play on turf, whatever. It was a huge problem for the World Cup they hosted, I think, in Canada. But for the men, they won't let them play on turf.